Kamusta, kamusta, kamusta? Naghahanap ka ba ng tambayang makapag-banding-banding at makakwentuhan? Huwag nang mag-alala, nandito na ang mga titong tropa-tropa. This is your Tito Jico.
And this is your Tito Jolo.
And you're listening to
Talk with Titos.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning,
Yes.
good afternoon, good evening, mga pamangkens.
Magandang
mga langga.
araw.
Magandang araw.
Yes, magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Magandang gabi.
Kung saan ka man nakikinig, right? Maybe some of you are listening from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Some of you are listening from the Europe.
Wow.
Wow. Oo. Ay, may mga listeners tayo sa Europe,
Tulogo po.
Oo, syempre. Woo! Hindi ko nga alam kung sino yun eh. Pero at least, I'm overwhelmed.
Narinig ko raw, merong nasa Indonesia, may Malaysia.
Ay, hindi. Sa Singapore.
Sa Singapore meron
Yun,
din.
may mga listeners pala tayo sa Singapore.
Oo,
Oo.
baka naman.
Baka naman,
Excel,
baka,
oo.
baka naman gusto nyo kaming i-treat dyan. Hindi, joke lang. Pero, yes, it's been...
Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta.
Oo. We really appreciate your time sa pag,
Oo.
sa pag...
Pakikitambay.
oo, sa pag, basta, ang hirap mag-Tagalog. Okay,
Ay,
sige.
true. Pero pag-iigihan namin, we're still learning, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Sana mayroong progress yung pananagalog namin. Pero yun, maraming salamat sa inyong mga suporta. At,
Oo. Pero hindi kami magpapaalam, ha? Okay.
hindi kami
we just
kapapaalam
wanna-
namin, kakasimulan namin ulit eh.
we just want to appreciate your time with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Okay.
At nai-encourage kami na magpatuloy, na mag-e-exert pa talaga.
Yun. Okay. So if you find
Thank
valuable sa mga na naririnig mo dito sa aming podcast, please don't hesitate to share it to others.
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, we have our Instagram pala.
Uy, meron na?
Yes, meron na.
Nakikihit na tayo.
Yun, oo. So, yeah, just follow us on our Instagram. It is, just click the description below. It's there.
Yan.
Okay?
Nakikisabay na yung mga titos.
Yun. Okay. And by the way, yes, we have a very exciting episode. Just actually a continuation of our previous episode.
Ay,
Oo.
totoo?
Ay, hindi.
Hindi ko na-orient nagkakape-kape lang ako dito actually.
Oo.
Yeah, so last time, yung pinag-usapan natin is identifying our own red flags or hashtag palag sa sariling red
sariling
flags.
red flag.
Red
Yun.
flags. Red flags.
Red
Yun,
flag.
napipitla na ako.
This time, of course, we're done with identifying.
Yes.
And I think it's the right thing to acknowledge, and it's time to deal with our red flags.
Ay,
Right?
totoo yan.
Yeah. It's identifying is not enough,
Mm-hmm.
but we need also to acknowledge and to deal with our own red flags, especially when
True.
it comes to relationship.
Kasi parang napaka-hypocritical naman yun siguro na identified mo na yung mga red flags mo and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not doing anything about it.
Yes, right. It's just like you know the problem, pero hindi mo siya ma-address. It will continue. It will be parang cycle lang. Cycle lang yan.
Yeah.
Oo. Right.
Ikot-ikot lang, ikot-ikot lang, ikot. May seguing ganun.
So, I mean, ganyan ka-talented si Tito Jaco.
Hindi. Antok lang ako, tol.
Ganyan siya ka-talented.
Yeah, sige.
So, may question tayo dito. Okay? Ang question, why do we need to acknowledge the red flags in relationship? Especially in relationship. Or, yeah.
Why not?
Why not coconut?
Why
Chocolate?
not? Chocolate.
Or-
Why we need...
or-
Kailangan yun. Kasi, as what I've said kanina, na
Yeah.
napaka-ewan o parang napaka-hipokrito. Hypocritical.
Oh, yes. And napaka...
If-
it's like we're
alam mo na,
hypocrites.
for example, alam ko namang mahilig ako mag-uto-uto and I'm not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Uto-uto ba ako?
Hindi ko alam. Malay ko sa iyo. Hindi.
So ayun, medyo
Yun.
So
Yeah.
ayun, we need to acknowledge our own red flags
Yeah.
to address the issue ng mas maaga, mas mabuti.
Yun. Yes, mas maaga, mas mabuti.
Yan.
We need to address the issue. Okay? It's good, right? And another thing, why do we need to acknowledge it? It's to prevent casualties. So, ginamit talaga natin yung term na casualties.
Oh,
no?
mga
So, we
victims
have to
yan,
understand that kumbaga sa iyong red flag, you're not just the one who is affected.
Totoo.
There will be people that are affected if we continue to do this thing. Diba? You know that there's something wrong with you and you don't acknowledge it, you don't deal with it, and there will be people around you na talagang maaapektuhan.
Kung sa bagay, yung negligence mo
Yeah.
sa sarili mong red flags, magkokos
Yes.
yan ng domino effect sa mga tao sa paligid,
Yeah.
sa paligid mo. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I know someone, ito, medyo true story tayo dito. Oo. Hindi to chismax, okay?
Hoy, gumagamit na ng term na chismas yung Tito Jolo.
Hindi, I know someone na kumbaga for how many days for several times na nangyari sa kanya na he will have to confess his feelings to the ladies. Oo. And then at the end of the day, after several months, several years, talagang may tendency siya na fall out. Oo. May mga ganun. Oo. I mean, of course. Of course, you know that it happened to you for several times, diba? Sometimes you need to be aware. Maybe you have to do something. You need to do something. You need to check your hearts. You need to do something about it para there will be no other ladies na maaapektuhan.
Yes, totoo yan.
Diba?
Ito, real talk na ano to.
Nagmumukha kang pa-fall eh.
Yeah.
Oo, ang gwapo mo, di ba? Hindi, that's true.
Ito,
that's true.
real talk to sa mga taong napapansin nyo na kadalasan ay napupunta kayo sa mga quote-in-quote maling tao, natatanong nyo ba sa sarili nyo kung ano yung problema? Sila ba o baka ikaw?
Yun! That's right. That's right.
Diba? Bakit laging bagsak mo toxic na relationship?
Oo.
Bakit laging hindi nagwo-workout yung isang relasyon?
Oo.
I mean, napakadali isisi sa iba, pero tingnan natin yung sarili natin. Baka yung problema naman talaga ay hindi yung ibang tao.
Baka ikaw.
Baka ikaw yung pinaka-problema.
Sabi nga nila, once is enough,
Ah.
twice is too much, thrice is stupidity.
May fourth pa. Alam mo yung kung yung fourth?
Ano?
Forget.
That's true, right? I mean, I think it's high time for you to
May fifth pa, Meg. May fifth pa.
Ano?
Charity na yun. Rehab ka na. Rehab ka, girl.
That's
So, ayan,
true.
totoo yan.
We need to somehow reevaluate ourselves. Why this? Bakit nangyayari sa iyo ito paulit-ulit, di ba?
Yes.
Oo. Yeah. So, yeah. To prevent further casualties, not just for yourself, but for other people. Right?
Magkakaroon na lang quote-in-quote character development if maglalaan ka ng panahon na mag-self-reflect.
Yeah.
So, doon magsisimula yon. Identifying your own red flags and acknowledging it in order for you to proceed sa pag-deal.
Yeah. That's true.
Yung pag-deal, yung handling our own red flags, we're going to tackle it mamaya. Mamaya-maya.
Yeah.
So,
Now-
standby lang.
Now, another question, how to acknowledge it? How to acknowledge it?
Oo
You
nga.
know,
Paano nga ba?
paano nga ba? Diba?
Mm.
I think one of the things that I can share to the listeners is that be with people who love you enough. Be with people who love you that will kumbaga that has this courage to correct you.
Yes. Love you enough to correct you.
Yeah. Be with people who love you enough to correct you.
Hindi ka pa plastikin.
Oo. I mean, real talk, no sugarcoating.
Oh.
Di ba?
It is what it is. Yung,
Oo, no sugarcoating. Kasi, there are times that we have a lot of blind spots. Yung mga blind spots kasi tayo.
Yes.
Of course, we those blind spots, I mean, we cannot see that, but only those people around us who love us can see those. And we need them.
Mm.
Be with people. Choose among your friends, right? that will not tolerate your wrongdoings.
Totoo yan. Kung totoong kaibigan ka, kung totoong kaibigan mo yung isang tao,
Oo.
i-correct ka yan regardless kung ano yung magiging react mo.
Oo.
Hindi yan ito-tolerate yung ano mo. Siyempre, kung totoong kaibigan, may
May concern. Oo. Oo.
So masaktan ako masaktan, i-relate lock ka yan. Ibubuli ka yan at some point para matauan ka.
Minsan kasi sa Filipino, yun actually yung pinaka-problem sa Filipino culture.
Aha.
We are not confrontational.
Mhm.
We're not confrontational. Maybe you can do it, we can do it in a Filipino way, di ba? Punta kayo ng Dunkin' Donuts, right? Hanggang sa maubos na yung yung donut. Nag-beat around the bush ka pa rin.
Parang gawain ko yan Makapag-donut
I mean, you can do it in a Filipino way, di ba? So, I mean, be with people who...
Basta ang importante na a-address yung issue.
Yes. Yes, you acknowledge it. And of course, not just... I think it's not enough to be with people who love you enough to correct you. But next we have... we need to accept our own flaws.
Yeah.
Flaws. Yeah.
Actually, Tito Jolo, before we proceed sa ganyang part yung pag-a-accept our own flaws,
Yes.
itatanong lang ako, paano pag ano? For example, wala talaga yung tao na parang support system na healthy na magko-correct sa kanya.
Hindi maganap
At
ka.
aware yung taong yun. Example, aware yung taong yun. Example ako. Aware ako may red flags ako. Pero since perhaps yung red flags ko na-cultivate mismo sa environment kung saan man ako,
Yeah.
nagmula o mga kaibigan ko. So, ano yung gagawin ko?
I think God has given us the wisdom to choose people around us. Right? I mean, di ba? I mean, God has given us the wisdom to choose kumbaga, sino mga tao na dapat mong samahan.
Kasi yung totoo yan, ang totoo niyan, may mga tao talaga na aware sila sa mga red flags nila.
Yeah.
It's just they just don't know kung sino yung lalapitan nila and how to do it. So let's look at it sa ganyang parte ng like talagang situational na,
That's mahirap Mahirap.
'di ba?
Oo. I mean, maybe
Alam nila na meron silang ganyang klaseng issues, internal issues, and yet they are also aware na hindi masosolve yung internal issues nila o concern nila dahil mismo kinocultivate yan ng mismong environment nila. And if merong choice lang din naman sila magpumili ng mga tao makakasama nila, then why not? Pero what if talaga nasa sitwasyon sila na wala?
Hindi pwedeng wala. Meron talaga. I mean, they have the choice. Right? They have the choice. Yes, at first siguro mahihirapan ka, but there will always be people around you who love you enough to correct you. Yeah.
Looking back, oo, masasabi ko talaga.
There will be always
Looking
people
back,
like that. At first siguro talaga mahirap, but again, there will be people who will correct you. They're just there.
Mahirap, pero hindi imposible.
Hindi posible. Hindi
Merong
posible.
hope.
Or maybe you can chat us here.
Oh,
You can connect us.
huwag kayong mahiya
If you
mga
feel this
pamangkin.
way.
So,
Right? Yeah.
so yun lang. So,
Okay.
alin na yan? Accept our own flaws. Yeah.
Yeah, accept your own flaws. Yes, it's easy that, for example, given that there are people who would correct you enough, you have to learn to accept their correction.
True.
Because
True.
there are times talaga na, we're not humble enough to accept the reality that we're wrong. There's something wrong with us.
Aha.
It's hard.
The whole thing, actually, Tito Jolo, the whole thing about identifying, acknowledging, and dealing our own red flags, matutumbok yung pride eh.
Yes, exactly.
It's all about pride talaga.
Oh.
So,
But we cannot address the issue unless we humble ourselves.
yes, exactly.
We cannot address the issue. Oo. So we need to accept our own flaws. Right?
Be humble enough to embrace your own mistakes, your own limitations, your own flaws. Kasi doon magsisimula yung character development.
Yes. Or maybe healing. We can say
Healing,
healing.
oo.
Healing.
Sabi na, aware ka naman na you can be more than sa iniisip ng iba o even ikaw mismo naglalagay ka ng limitation. Ganito na kasi ako ganito na kasi ako
Oo.
Pero at the back of your mind, you are aware na you can do better. You can be better.
Yung worst is that sasabihin na nila na it's 2022, you know.
Ano naman? Nagbabago ba yung yung tama at mali?
Yun, yeah, that's exactly, right? 1 plus 1 is still 2, right? It doesn't change.
Oh.
It doesn't change the fact that we have our own flaws and we need to acknowledge it and we need to deal with it. Right? Yeah, that's the reality. Regardless of what era we are.
Siguro masasabi mo na mapapadali yung pag-acknowledge mo sa mga sarili mong mistakes if you already got a dose of your own medicine.
Yeah.
Pag bumalik na sa'yo yung mo, alam mo yon.
Yeah. And I think,
pag nasampal ka na talaga ng katotohanan na, ganito ka, pak. You need to do something about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a wake-up call na siguro to settle the things that you need to settle sa sarili mo.
Yeah. I think it's better that while you're single, it's better to address those issues.
Totoo yan.
It's better to address those issues when you're single so that ang sinabi natin kanina, that to prevent casualties because it's unfair for your future husband or wife na hindi mo ma-address yung mga issue ng ganyan. And you're not just the one who is affected, but people around you are affected with that.
Actually, Kuya Jolo, napaisip lang din naman ako. Siguro, for example ako, hindi ako aware na may ganoon akong red flag.
Yeah.
Tapos pumasok ako sa isang relasyon and then dun, lumitaw yung ganoong red flag.
Na-discover mo.
Na-discover yun. Yung partner mo, perhaps somehow, if really into something na i-work, trying to fix the relationship, you can
address that issue. Of course, I'm
diba?
not saying that.
Medyo paano ko
I'm not
minsan
saying.
nasa dulo na ng dila ko, di ko siya masabi.
Pero I'm not saying that you cannot address that issue while in a relationship.
Yeah.
But siguro better. But of course, there are certain things that we can only know when we are in a relationship, especially there are people around us. May you're in a tamang tao, di ba? Sana all tamang tao.
Yung kilala ko si taong may tama. O pwedeng ako rin yun, gano'n, di ba? Lagi din naman akong may tama. Pero hindi, so, yeah. Ano nga yun? Sorry to interrupt you.
Nakalimutan ko tuloy.
Sorry.
Hindi. Yes, I'm not saying that you cannot address that red flag while you are in a relationship. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. So, naisip ko okay.
No.
So, merong ganon. Lumabas lang, hindi ka aware, tapos, nung pumasok ka sa isang relasyon, dun palang lumabas. And then, meron ding sitwasyon na aware na talaga ako na meron akong ganoong red flags. But, nang pumasok ako sa isang relasyon at nag-manifest ulit,
Yeah.
hinayaan ko lang. I think mas worse yung ganon.
Yun.
Mas worse yung ganon. That's what I'm trying to say kanina. Mas worse yung ganon.
Yeah.
And then, if you-flip mo yung card na pag hindi mo ko tanggap sa ganito kong flaws, hindi mo ko tanggap sa pinaka-the best. Ano ka, gold?
Yun kasi.
Nakakainis yung ganong mindset,
I'm
tol.
pissed off whenever I hear those things.
Nakakalokang ganun. Sarap ng balatan.
So that means, that means you cannot address that red flag anymore. Of course, you need to address that.
You have to.
You have to. Diba?
You have to.
Oo, medyo
Hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng idahilan na ganito na kasi ako
Yeah, no.
At saka, pag di mo ko tanggap sa ganitong ako, pag di mo ko tanggap sa pinaka-worst na ako, di mo ko tanggap sa pinaka-the best na ako.
Kaya na nila yan.
E di awit.
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 Ay, nako. Oo. Now, let's go to the last part. Okay. Medyo maikli lang ating episode ngayon.
Ay, oo.
Medyo maikli lang. Okay lang
Ay,
yan.
kung napapansin ninyo mga pamangkins, mga langga,
Wala pala si
wala si Tito Josh.
medyo busy.
Medyo
Sabi ko
busy
sa'yo
si Tito. Baka makakasama natin siya hopefully sa mga susunod na
Yeah.
episodes. So yeah, Tito Josh,
Di kasi,
mag-ingat palagi.
Si Tito
Sa-
Josh,
yeah.
he's married. We have to understand also. May mga limitation. I mean, may mga priority.
May mga priority siya.
Ganyan kasi talaga pag married. Okay, so, you know, hopefully someday, one of us here, or all of us, will, you know, yeah, let's go to the last part.
Di ba? Napapa-somewhere over the rainbow tayo bigla, ano?
Let's go to the last part. Okay, how to deal or handle our red flags. Okay. Of
Yeah.
course, after you identify and acknowledge it, hindi siya pwede na pabayaan mo lang. Hindi siya pwede.
Yes. Parang damo yan.
Kasi,
Oo.
ano lang eh,
Kakalat, lalago.
lalago lang yan.
Oo.
Lalago lang yan.
Kakalat, magkukos ng...
Walang improvement.
Yes.
Diba? Walang improvement. Things will still the same.
Yan lang, walang progress.
Things are
Walang
still the
character
same.
development.
Yun. You need to deal with that. You need to do something about it. Okay. Now, just to relate with everyone. Okay. Of course, I heard a story about a lady who was, kumaga, he was jumping from one relationship to another, and it involves sexual immorality between these people, or between her boyfriends, right? Kumaga, so for her, gusto niya makawala. Gusto niya makawala. Right? Gusto niya talaga makawala sa ganyang cycle, because if she understood that that what she was doing is wrong. Kasalanan talaga. And he acknowledged it. But one thing na nakulang talaga is to do something about it, to address the issue. She has to deal with it.
Yeah.
So what she did is that she stopped dating first. She stopped dating first until such time na she feels that she's whole already. She had a she has already a relationship with God, and she experienced the wholeness, the satisfaction to God through Christ Jesus. So kumaga, she waited until such time na mature na siya to handle these pressures, because we have to admit, yung mga struggle na ganyan, it will be, andun talaga yan. Andun
Totoo.
talaga yan. Especially if you have experienced those things, andun talaga yan. It's really difficult. So kumbaga, she waited until such time she is matured enough to handle these struggles, right? Until such time, before dating. You get the point? You get the point?
Yeah.
Diba?
Oh.
Kumbaga, she waited until such time na whole siya sa Diyos. She find wholeness in God. She find satisfaction in God. And she waited na talagang mag-mature siya in handling these things. Right? She waited until she's matured before she dated. She entered into a dating relationship. So, kumaga, those things pala, there are a lot of, it's not just enough to identify, to acknowledge it, but you need to deal with it. You need to take necessary steps for you to address this issue.
It should be intentional talaga.
That's true. It should be intentional.
Hindi siya pwedeng seasonal lang. Hindi siya pwedeng, example, aware ako na may ganito akong red flags. Aware ako na, for example, mahilig ako magsinungaling.
Yeah.
Mahilig ako mag-create ng excuses. Hindi pwede na i-handle ko lang yon pag meron ng mga consequences na dumadating. Dapat intentional siya, hindi siya dapat seasonal.
That's true.
Hindi mo nahihintayin na hindi mo nahihintayin yung consequences ng mga red flags mo again, it should be intentional talaga. You should agree and you should decide na I have to settle this. I have to start somewhere and I need to start somewhere and I need to start it right.
Yeah, exactly.
And you must start it right.
And it's really hard actually. At first, you need to make a firm decision that, Lord, this is what I want to do. Right? I want to be right with you. Diba? And you need to take necessary steps for you to address that issue. Just like what I shared a while ago. She waited for several years before she dated again. Diba? She waited until she's matured enough she waited until she's matured enough to handle those struggles, because those struggles andyan kasi yan eh. Diba? It's ano yan? Ano ba talaga yan? Kumbaga, it's in our flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's for me. That's for me.
Kung nyo napapansin, kanina pa ako tahimik. Kasi napapaisip din ako. Going back kanina sa we need to be with people na love you enough to correct you.
Yeah.
Siguro may mga taong aware naman na sa kanilang mga red flags, and yet they are just doubtful to reach out kasi natatakot silang i-ridiculed or baka i-pin down.
Yeah.
Pero mga kaibigan, mga pamangkins, mga langga, aming mga minamahal, there's no one else na mas let's say nalalapitan mo at tatanggapin ka as you are other than yung Panginoon.
Exactly.
Cliche pakinggan, but totoo yun. Kasi in the midst of your red flags, pagiging toxic mo, nandyan siya eh. Alam niya, aware siya.
Yeah.
And of course,
just have to reach out to him.
Just come as you are.
Yeah. Just have to come.
He is someone na hindi mo kailangan mag-pretend. He is someone that hindi mo kailangan i-defend yung sarili mo.
Yeah.
Kasi ganito, kasi God don't need your excuses, mga kaibigan. Kailangan niya lang talaga na you just need to be
you just have to come to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come as you are, mga kaibigan. So yun lang. Yun yung naiisip ko kanina pa.
Dagdag ko lang to, no? I'm not sure if it is relevant to our discussion here. Pero, the reason why a lot of people are jumping from one relationship to another, and sometimes the sad thing about it is that it involves sexual immorality. It's because they're looking for a relationship that would satisfy them. Looking for a relationship that would feel that longingness,
Gap,
that
void.
void. Yeah. But based on the story of someone that just I shared a while ago, she found that longingness in the person of Jesus Christ. So yun. Yeah, you just have to come to him. Yeah. And I think that's the best way to deal with our own red flags.
So,
Yeah.
Patungkol dyan sa scenario mo, Kuya Jolo, mga pamangkins, di mo mahahanap ang tamang pag-ibig sa maling lugar. Yan. Huwag mong hanapin yung tamang pag-ibig na hinahanap mo sa maling lugar.
Yeah. Right.
If you experience ecstasy or kasiyahan, totoong experiences yan, it doesn't justify or it doesn't really, hindi yan na itatama yung mali. So perhaps you're still looking or searching sa love sa mga wrong
wrong places,
wrong persons,
Yeah.
perhaps wrong reasons. But deep down, you're just longing for something.
Yeah.
As what I've said kanina, just come as you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be preachy here or whatever, you know what? pwede mong gamitin yung iba't ibang term, like, napaka-preachy nyo naman. But it is
Oo.
what it is, yo. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we disclaimer lang. Syempre, we can talk about this because personally we have experienced this.
Yeah.
We have experienced the struggle of, especially sa mga kalalakihan. Right? May mga,
Yan.
we some of us or maybe all of us here have experienced what it means to be anemia, ako kage. Right? We're not, I mean, we have experienced those but we're not proud of it. We're not proud of it.
Huwag niyong i-expect na pag nakita niyo kami, meron kaming halo, Kasi talagang,
I mean, yeah.
we're just,
Mukhang mahilo lang. Nahe-halo. Joke.
to tell you honestly, mga kaibigan, bago namin simulan, marami pa tayong time in fairness,
Oo.
Ang bilis lang nating,
Oo.
mabilis pag hindi pinaghandaan ng maigi.
Wala tayong script ngayon. Walang script.
Full freestyle. Pero hindi, seryoso. Bago naman simulan yung dati pa The Tito Talks at ngayon Talk with Titos, we, Tito Jolo and me, your inyong lingkod, Tito Jico, na-experience namin yung tinatawag na in the wilderness, kumbaga.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga topic minsan malapit sa aming puso kasi we experience it ourselves.
We love to discuss about this because we have
And
experienced
we are not
this
proud.
person.
Tinatawanan na namin, but deep down talaga, looking back, ay nako.
Oo.
Nung hindi,
napaka-cringe ako. Ay, nako.
minsan,
Sarap.
natutulog ako, 3:00 na ng umaga, sa kaka-cringe.
Minsan yung sarap
But it's, looking back, it's really, the redeeming grace, should I
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
So we're trying to share it to you guys.
Yes.
That
Okay.
love, that tito-ness, that,
Yeah.
Kasi may mga tao din naman na we are grateful that we are being surrounded with the
By-
people that love us enough to correct us.
Yun.
Love us enough to admonish us. So,
Yeah.
yan. As bilang tito, mga tito na rin,
Ako talaga tito ako
tanggapin mo na tol, ano ba? Ikakasal ka na sa susunod.
Uy, Uy, wala.
ay, sorry.
Oo. Sige. Okay.
So, yun, baka saan pa tayo mapunta. So, yun. So,
Ayun.
it's, malapit sa puso namin yung topic na to.
Yeah.
Tawang-tawa lang kami, di po natatamaan din kami actually.
Oo.
So, saan naman tayo? Ang nagpaka-melodrama tayo.
Yeah.
Bigla,
So, let's recap na lang pala. Recap. So, red flags, right? Number one, of course, we discussed that we need to acknowledge it. How do we acknowledge? Why do we need to acknowledge it? Of course, to address the issue, to prevent casualties, further casualties.
Yes.
Oo. And how? How do we acknowledge it? Right?
Be with people who love you enough to correct you.
Yun.
And,
Accept your own,
importante, yes, accept your own flaws.
Yes. And of course, how do we deal with it? Of course, we need to do something about it.
Yes.
The one that I shared to you a while ago is just an example. So it must be intentional. You need to be intentional.
Intentional.
You have to be firm.
seasonal. Yes.
You have to be firm with your decision. Lord, this is what I want to do. I want to be right with you.
Mhm. Dagdag ko lang sa pag-handle o pag-deal sa
Yeah.
ating own red flags. Iwasan mo yung mga bagay o yung mga sitwasyones na magti-trigger sa'yo sa ganyang red flags mo.
Yeah.
You know, do something about sa environment mo.
Yeah.
Perhaps nako-cultivate yung ugaling mong hindi ka nais-nais kasi baka it has something to do sa mga taong kinakasama mo. I'm not saying na masasama yung, baka sabi mo, ibig mong sabihin, Tito Jico, masasama yung mga barkada ko? Pwede. Hindi kita ma-plastikin, pwede.
Malay mo. Di ba?
Malay mo.
Hindi mo
di ba?
alam.
Pwedeng hindi. Pwedeng oo.
Oo.
But ikaw lang hindi niyo nakakaalam.
Yes.
Oo.
Okay.
One thing I know for sure, if totoo mo silang kaibigan, hindi ka nila ito-tolerate.
Yeah.
If
that's right.
totoo mo silang kaibigan, if totoo kang kaibigan nila, hindi mo rin sila ito-tolerate.
Yeah.
So, ayun. So, you need to do something. You need to evaluate, self-reflect, evaluate externally and internally. Ano kaya yung nagtitrigger sa'yo? Bakit ganyan yung behavior mo? Alam mo yon, mga tawag dito. Ayan na naman, nabibitla na naman ako.
Dadagdag ko lang regarding
Basta nagas na yun. So yeah.
Oh. Dagdag ko na lang pala sa last part na to. One of the things talaga na yung mga TikTok reels na yun is really toxic, you know.
Wow.
I mean, right now is very sensual.
Me and my jowa.
Yeah.
Woo.
hindi lang sa ganyan. May mga very sensual.
Yeah.
May mga sexual content. Kulang lang talaga magubad yung mga tao. Sometimes, you know, those are the things that affects you. If you're, kumbaga, those, for example, if you're struggling with the purity of your mind, diba? Do something about it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe uninstall your FB to prevent you from doing that. Right? I mean, this is just an example, but we need to do something about it. Yeah. Again, intentional and not seasonal.
And also, sa sinabi mong yan, ang ibig sabihin nun, be watchful sa kung ano yung i-feed mo sa
Yun, exactly.
utak
Yeah,
mo,
that's the term.
sa consciousness mo.
Yeah.
Kasi may tinatawag tayong baka tawag dito. May mga kaibigan, di ko alam kung anong term sa psychology yun eh. Minsan may mga pinifeed sa atin, minsan may pinifeed tayo sa sarili natin na hindi natin na-expect na ma-manifest yun sa sa mga sitwasyon o sa mga pagkakataon hindi natin ine-expect.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Nakalimutan ko yung term nun sa psychology.
Basta what you feed really matters. Ang mga,
Oy, gandang line yung what you feed really matters.
Yeah.
Ano yung feed mo?
Mga anong pinili
Love
mo sa-
feed.
Love feeds.
Baboy.
Hindi, ano yung talagang pinifeed mo sa mind mo. So, kumbaga, tama yung sinabi ni Tito Jolo, lalabas yan sa pagkakataon na hindi mo inaasahan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you need to be careful and be mindful about it. So, that's it. You know, hindi na natin
Papatagalin to.
papatagalin pa.
Parang relasyon nyo. Ay, nakaw.
Ayun. Okay, so let's end this.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Again, this is Tito Jolo.
Oh. And this is your Tito Jaco.
Alright, so...
Na nagsasabi, masarap ang mahal, lalo na kung tunay.
And, masarap magmahal, lalo na kung tama.
Yun. Kita kits.
Bye.
Bye.
Yun.